Hello.
Hi.
Hi everyone, welcome to our PSE WeTalk session. Today we have Richard Tan, Sunny, Evangeline, myself, and Li Yang here. Richard, over
Hi,
to you.
hi. Yeah. Our dear eventually was so excited. So anyway, hi, good evening everyone. This is our third YouTube live. Okay, of course, PSE Elite is not just doing the third YouTube live only. We have about 20 over Facebook live. Okay, and this is a new so-called channel that we had just started new, and definitely today we are going to have something very interesting. And our three speaker has spent a lot of effort to actually do a lot of research and live, and we actually go down to sites to do research, and we actually do interview. We also do interview. Okay, no problem. Okay, in short, okay, so what we are going to do now, okay, we are going to go to our session. Okay, so let us start the share. There's a background noise. Can you off?
Background noise?
The music.
Background noise. Okay, no problem. Okay, so anyway, let us start the live now. And give me a second. Let me do the slides now. Okay, so again, good evening, everyone. So okay, again, our third YouTube live, which is our topic today will be Shophouse Retail vacancy on the rise. So the question is it an opportunity or crisis? Okay, so that is something that I think most of the F&B operator, most of the investor, most of the owners, even the owners are also concerned, and they want to find out more. And this is a topic that we have do a lot of research, and we want to actually share with all the audience today. And that is something that we want to be very focused today. So let us start the session. Okay, let us start the session. Okay, so before we actually dive into the topic, so let me introduce a bit on our Shophouse Elite Team. So this is a team again, and I had said this over the last 2 years. So, but I still need to highlight this, for those who have just joined us the first time. So this team is is a team that we have in love into this sector called Shophouse. Of course, the commercial Shophouse in the prime area in District 1, 2, 7, and 8. And of course, we are into Holland Village, we are into Serangoon Garden, we are into all the conservation Shophouse. Okay, so these team are so-called the elites. And reason why we all come together, because one person, you can only do this. If in the team, we can actually do wonders. And because of the network that we actually accumulate, we have somehow take a look at our track record. Somehow we have actually transacted. We have actually transacted over $2 billion of Shophouse. Actually, the $2 billion of Shophouse is, I remember, we dated on 2023 December. Okay, we did not count the 2024. We did not count the 2025. So this is a team that we brainstorm together every week. We will come together and we will actually, we will discuss about the off-market listing. Number one, we will discuss about the transacted, listing or the Shophouse transaction or the latest shop transaction. We will discuss about, an example, we will actually discuss about some of the listing that has been sold. So we will discuss and why this unit was sold at this price. So we brainstorm and we are discussing every now and then for us to actually, share all this information with our investor. So definitely, this is something that we love to do. Okay, we love to. Okay, so this is a transaction as on December 2023. So short transaction, we sold transaction in District 1, 2, 7, 8. Okay, in Serangoon Garden, in Holland Village. Of course, including some of the hospitality, some of the hotel that we have also sold along the year. Okay, so that is what we do. So these are the Facebook Live that just now I highlighted. Over the last 2 years, we have been doing Facebook Live. Okay, so these are all the topics that we have been discussing. Okay, so only this year, 2025, we started PSE YouTube Live. We have our channel. You can actually like our channel, and these are our third one. Of course, the first one we actually do on the uncertainty on the tariff. Okay, then of course we discuss about the leasehold commercial property, and today we are going to discuss about the retail vacancy on the rise. Is it an opportunity and crisis? Okay, so that is what we're going to see to share. Okay, so this is the first question that I'm going to ask the audience. Okay, we're going to ask the audience. So audience, if you feel that the retail vacancy up is an opportunity, type an opportunity into the comments. Okay, if you feel that retail vacancy up is a crisis, then you type a crisis. Okay. So, but while waiting for you guys to actually type your answer, I will want to ask the speaker. So, Sunny, can I ask you? So, retail vacancy up, what do you think about the market? Is it crisis or an opportunity?
In my opinion, as a retailer, it's an opportunity.
You are mute.
I can actually hear Sunny.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sunny, so retail vacancy is up. So is it crisis or an opportunity?
Yeah, in my opinion, as a retailer, it's a opportunity. I don't know what will our team members share.
Okay, for me,
Yvonne, can you hear Sunny?
Yes, I can hear. Li Yang can hear him too.
Yes, okay. Loud and clear.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we continue.
Hi. Okay, so how about Evangeline? Is it a crisis or an opportunity? I can't hear Sunny. We have to unmute.
Yeah. So for me, I think every crisis is an opportunity. That's how Li Ka-shing made his wealth. Over to you, Li Yang.
Well said. I think if it persists on, maybe it will appear as a crisis to sellers, but it may be an opportunity to the buyers.
So we have our audience. Shirley said that it is an opportunity.
Okay, no problem. So let me continue.
So what about you, Richard? What's your thought? Maybe you can share with the audience as well.
Hi, Richard. Are you able to hear us? Hi, Richard. Okay, we are having some small technical issue right now. Okay, we can continue, but we think we need to take over the control of the slides, is it? Because
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Sunny, can you hear me? Sorry for the interruption. I'm not able to hear you guys.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, let me continue. Sorry about that. Okay, so come. So let us continue. So actually, can I get eventually to actually start the session?
Sure. Okay, on this topic of retail vacancy on the rise, I think a lot of us has already heard about it over social media, over all the news platform. So in our first picture on the left, it says that the streets were full of laughter. What happened to Clarke Quay, Keong Saik Road, and Club Street? Okay, raise your hand if you have ever partied at Clarke Quay. Have you all ever partied at Clarke Quay? Dear audience, type into the chat if you have ever went to Clarke Quay and partied there. I'm very sure everyone has done it before. And we have the Zouk, we have Etika, we have the Palm Room. For myself, I went to the Palm Room back then when I was working still in the banking sector. Me and my colleague will go to the Palm Room. And Keong Saik Road, I think everybody will remember the Potato Head, its signature corner shop house. And Potato Head has been there for many years. They have been there for about 10 years. And for Club Street, when I was still working in the banking sector, right, Club Street itself, we will always hear like who is buying a Club Street shop house for their family office, and then they can use it to entertain their guests. So, and maybe the previous slides, and on social media wise, we have also seen a lot of shop houses closes along the Siglap Drive. I think the most significant, the most prominent will be for Patisserie. They have actually will be shutting down in July. So for them, they mentioned that their rent actually increased from 4.5K to 8.5K. I used to patronize their outlet at Duxton Hill. They used to have one at Duxton Hill, one at East Coast Road, and one at Siglap. But currently, all three have shut down. According to them, it's all due to escalating rent. So right now they are currently operating from an online outlet. So, and then the third picture on the right, we have Holland V, where Walla Walla Crystal Jade is moving out. Walla Walla has been there for 32 years, and Crystal Jade has been there for 20 years. And I still remember Crystal Jade, me and my friends will go there to have our birthday celebration. We'll go to Walla Walla for our birthday celebration, and I ever met a local celebrity at Crystal Jade before. So those are the fond memories that we have for Holland Village. Next slide. Yeah. So it drew so much attention that even our YouTuber, our influencer, Gip Ojisang, he actually went to shoot a video about how our CapitaLand, who owns Clarke Quay, has tried to revamp that area. Clarke Quay used to be our biggest party hub. And Gip Ojisang, when he came to Singapore in 2019, right, that's the first time he went to Clarke Quay, and he said that it's bustling with life. So right now, after it has been revamped, he actually went down to scout the area, and he has found new interesting daytime activities to do there. And there is also a NTUC, a very big NTUC, a very beautiful NTUC there right now that offers dine-in options as well. So the vibe for Clarke Quay has also changed a bit. And his video also covered to nighttime whether the crowd is still there. And in his own words, he said that the crowd is not too bad. But of course, if you compare to pre-COVID, it is still not as close to pre-COVID, but the crowd is not too bad, right? And I think a lot of F&B operators are somewhat struggling, and we are seeing news reporting that restaurant-wise have their tickets have been falling, their takings has been falling, and other F&B outlets that is cheaper have seen an improvement in the recent month. Next. So I think this don't just applies to F&B operators. We are also seeing more operators such as the one in the center there with a lady. She actually is a co-owner of a new fit gym at Kallang Wave Mall. It's a martial art and fitness gym. So they believe in keeping Kallang alive. It's a Singapore dream of building a vibrant sport culture. But they say that passion alone cannot pay for the escalating rent. They survived COVID, lockdown, half rent subsidies, but right now rent has been escalating so much, and yeah, they are operators are asking government to step in to help. Maybe I can quote one of the operators that I mentioned just now, for Patisserie, who is operating their last outlet in Siglap. So in her own words, let me read to you that what she posted on Instagram is, she say she would like the government to introduce some policy to create a fair playing field between the businesses and the landlord. So in her exact words on Instagram is, maybe implementing a grace period in which a commercial property can be emptied for as part of a fine. They suggest a cap of 6 months, after which the landlord has to be fined 50% of the asking rent every additional month that it is on the market. We are sure it will bring rents down super quick. So, quite an interesting perspective. Okay, next. So me, myself, and my team, we have made a trip to Holland Village last Tuesday to recce the place, and so that we can share with you how is the vibe like right now in Holland Village. So we have taken some pictures. You have seen here. We have the places, the restaurants here are actually quite packed. The crowd is not too bad. Maybe Richard, you can flash the next 2 slides. Yeah. So on the right is cha-cha-cha. On the left is a operetta. Next we have, and we have Walla Walla. There's still crowd there. This is at Tuesday night around 7:30 p.m. And our extreme right slides is actually our well-loved hawker center at Holland Village. It is all packed with people, and all restaurants offer a different price point. So maybe I can invite my team to share with the audience what else have you noticed. And we have also visited One Holland Village. Over to you guys.
All right. So for me, honestly, it's been a while since I last visited also. The last time I went, it was a weekend lunch. Definitely daytime, not so many people. So to my surprise, actually Tuesday night is better than what I expected. Given all the impression from the news, Walla Walla, the closure and everything. Yes, we noticed. I think it's 9 units they are vacant. The rest are open. Then the crowd mainly came in, I think, from 7:30 onwards. Then we also went in to see One Holland Village. My observation is about the same as Holland Village itself, but maybe I personally kind of think that it seems like there are lesser crowd of the expats compared to last time at the drinking places also. So there are a few that are busier. In the pictures we saw the coffee shops, the hawker centers, the 87 Thai. Maybe they have beer offer, happy hours and things like that. So they are quite full. The rest are quite okay. Then it gave me a lot of thoughts actually. I also thought about the BTO project nearby. After its completion, maybe things will change. So it's interesting to visit again, but it's not as bad, personally think. Sunny?
Yeah, I truly agree with you because as we know, One Holland Village has just opened up. Based on our observation, it does draw certain group of crowd over there. And because one thing we also want to share is that One Holland Village offer a different kind of shopping experience where dog lovers can bring their fur pets along with them. So that would somehow draws the crowd to One Holland Village. But overall, I would say the crowd and vibe is still there. And like what Li Yang mentioned, currently there's a construction of the BTO. The BTO actually taken up the open car park spaces. Yeah, so that could also affect those who drive to Holland Village to find parking. Yeah, so this could change the kind of the way people move to One Holland Village and Holland Village itself. Richard?
Okay. So of course, Li Yang, Li Yang and Sunny actually highlighted the crowd actually is scattered. So definitely because of One Holland Village has opened, So I think we did do some count on the restaurant that are in One Holland. So easily there's about 15 restaurant open additional in One Holland. So when there's additional 15 restaurant open, there's a variety of food or in the One Holland Village. Definitely it will actually pull some crowd over. So what I feel that, you know, it depends on the restaurant. If for example your food is still good, people will still come, and people will still visit your restaurant continuously. So I think it all goes to the quality of the food. You know, number one, the quality of the food, of course, the price of the food. So, and depend on the audience that actually come into this location. And you know, these are all the factors that I feel, you know, that because we just now this Li Yang was saying that, you know, the Thai 87 was doing well. So it depends on which type of food you are. But I personally feel when the place has a lot of variety, it actually attract more audience come. It should be in this way, but of course, audience will actually spread towards whichever food that they want to eat. So yeah, that's what I see lah. But I think the one very clear thing that I see is the bar. So the drinking bar has actually, I personally feel the drinking bar has actually, you know, loses quite a lot of crowd to Holland Village. Okay, so that's what I see lah. But as for the food, you know, Li Yang and Sunny has highlighted, and the food are doing well. To me, I feel that they are reasonably doing well. Okay, so back to eventually.
Yeah, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so now we have a question time.
So what do you think is happening? Basically, we try to sum up what the news reports talk about, and also a bit of our discussion and also observation. So we came to these three main points. May sound very big, the words, but let's go into that a bit. So socioeconomic pressures. Basically, we can bring into two parts, I think. From a business point of view, fast rising rents, you know, driven by landlords in the malls that have REITs, and shop houses sometimes, or, you know, a big part of it could be owned by investors. Then there could be fund houses. So their priority is to have the returns. So sometimes there is a gap when they want the returns to be faster, but business is not catching up. So there will be a gap. So when the rent is high, the cost is high. Then now we are also facing, from the feedback of a lot of operators from the news, we have high manpower costs, ingredient costs, utility costs. So it will strain the profitability. So another point is the consumer point of view. Now consumers also think that the cost of living has been rising. So it means that consumers may be more selective in spending. Now, it may explain why we saw more people are more keen in coffee shop, or maybe in hawkers. So they may want cheaper options locally, or maybe across the causeway. We don't know. But that is at least what the news are suggesting. So also we think of GST, think of service charges. If that is another load on the consumer, then that is something we need to consider. So another point is changing consumer habits. So, okay, like it or not, we may want to touch on the topic of aging population, work from home also. Later we will talk about this part. Then younger generations. Nowadays, a lot of people like to mention about Gen Z and how they move the market. So maybe they are moving away from the traditional nightlife, and maybe not so much of dining out, less frequent. Maybe they prefer affordable food, more casual, or maybe they prefer socializing at home, you know, Netflix, snacks, than drinking out. That also will come to another point, which is maybe the transportation. People don't drive so much, they take public transport. So drinking, the hours, and all these things. So number three, we talk about market and structural challenges. Heavy word again, but actually what it means is oversaturation of similar F&B concepts. Sometimes it create a lot of competition. So they may be competed with the larger chains also. So it may sound like the larger chains usually they appear in the malls, but it can be a chain effect, I think. They will also apply to shop houses in some ways indirectly. So another thing is lack of structural support, maybe regulation to balance landlord, tenant, like what Evan mentioned just now, the tenant actually propose something like instead of what they may suffer, they also want some fairness from the landlord perspective. So another thing is structural also can mean our restrictions, in our system. For example, URA restrictions on F&B use on certain units. So on certain street, they restrict that, like Club Street, maybe there is no more new F&B to be allowed. On certain streets, it is less likely to get the approval for F&B use. So it may create, think about it, maybe it's harder to get this approval, so it is rarer. So it's rare, then the landlord wanted higher rent, then it will translate into higher cost again. Then another thing is the marketing versus location also. These days, I think a lot of new F&Bs, they spend their marketing on social media. They don't really pick on location so much, some of them. It can be a bit ulu on sometimes the location, but people still go. Because like TikTok, Instagram, and all these things, they attract people. So we'll talk about this also, like shop houses regain their charm because a lot of people like to take Instagram and TikTok. They think it's a cool place. Yeah, so these are just some of the things we talk about. Then structural things, another thing is the change of the business model. We also heard, the news also report like recently there are a few articles about home-based business, some debates also. So, even you have something, I heard you have some exposure in that sense, right? You want to share with us a bit about that?
I think some of the F&B, I think like you mentioned, some of the societal changes, right? And the F&B operators are also feeling the heat from home cafes. So I actually came across this video by Darren and Joanna on YouTube. They visited 10 home cafes in just one day. And then it was so popular that all the audience, right, was asking them how to set up a home cafe. Then they actually they got their, I think one of their family members, brother or brother-in-law, something like that, to set up a home cafe in just 7 days. Brand up, app taking, order up, everything up, and I think they sold about 7 or 9 cups of coffee on first day of launch. It's quite interesting. And in these slides that you are seeing, right, on the extreme left, that was reported that the picture is actually showing a wood fire home pizza place. And anybody want to make a guess how many pizza they can sell in one day? 10, 20, 30, 50,
100.
100? Okay, the answer is they can sell 200 pizza a day. They only operate for 3 days a week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think although it's a home business, the earnings that they are clocking in maybe is way more than what a full-fledged
Are they hiring?
Operator. I don't think home business they can hire people. Yeah, it has to be all family members and friends kind of thing. Yeah.
Amazing.
Next slide.
Okay, back to this change, talk about social changes. So according to the report, their survey, Gen Z, the younger generation now, they have this declining nightlife culture. So younger Singaporeans actually view traditional nightlife as overpriced, expensive, inconvenient. Like, it is a bit not their liking, just put it that way. Yeah, high cost, transportation also. I think the next slide, will be a bit more detailed. Just now I talked about changing demographics, the aging population. Also, we have smaller households. Then, of course, older consumers like myself also trying to be healthier, to be convenient. We don't travel so far away to get the food and retail options. So nowadays we have a lot of dual income households also, or single person. So I think that the demand is increased more for the ready to eat, easier after work. You need to tapao, or go online shopping. So it definitely will change something. Then the other one is digital first lifestyle. What it means is maybe they prefer something like Grab food, Deliveroo, more common. Then, like I mentioned just now, social media play a big part. Sometimes it can make or break a business. The comments, the reviews, and also people read reviews, read the blogs, the food blogs to go and visit. Before, they just see the picture, they read the reviews, they think, wow, advertising, they want to go. It's their weekend hunt. I do that also, to be frank. So it's no longer so much of like I go to this place and particularly for something. Yeah, that changed. Then overall experience over product, number 3. I think now we see more like pop-up stores, like the luxury brands or some thematic concept stores. Some have events, hybrid spaces. You can see that a lot more in shop houses actually these days. So there are also interesting things like people want to spend. They want to spend on something special, like maybe like outdoor theater. Then they have dining, like the art festival now, the light show. Okay, and then number 4, I think is a very important one. Since COVID, right, we have changed a lot in terms of people going back to work. So flexible work culture, lifestyle shift. If we are not going back to office, you think about CBD, then retails will be affected. Number 2 is, for example, Holland Village also used to be in the crowd from One North, Biopolis. So if there are lesser workers on weekdays, on alternate days, so naturally it should translate into the lesser, business. So hybrid is one thing. Then the next one is youth culture. We talk about Gen Z, they prefer something else. Maybe they don't like drinking so much. Maybe they like bubble tea. Then the trends also changing very fast. Last time it was a long time ago. It was salted egg. Then now it's mala. Then things change from bubble tea, from coffee to matcha latte. Then the new thing, pistachio, is coming in. Things change very fast, so businesses have to adapt. And they are not, how should I put it? Sometimes it may not be totally loyal to just one brand. They want to keep experimenting different stores like Chargy or different bubble tea. No, they don't stick to one. Then number 6, maybe there is something I kind of observe also. You may see more health conscious or fit people in the street wearing their workout. How should I put it? The tight fitting yoga outfit. A lot of ladies have muscles like walking. So maybe they will prefer something like healthier food. Then the retail will be doing better, I think, in that sense also. Like Lululemon, I saw there a lot of yoga outlets, a lot of fitness F45. So we also notice certain area is for that, like for example, Duxton. So that street is calmer, so you have a mix of all this lifestyle, and it's not like a mix of F&B. Then when they are pubs, that's too loud. So yoga is one side, then other business is another side. Okay, next. This is post-COVID.
Yes, these are just to show like pre-COVID and post-COVID. Indeed, just to support what Li Yang has mentioned just now, post-COVID and pre-COVID is really brings about a major change in behavioral patterns, and that can also be seen at Clarke Quay itself. So on the and all these changes is not just a local phenomenon; it is actually a global phenomenon. And on the extreme right, that picture is actually taken from Vietnam. I have a friend who just visited Vietnam, and he shared with me that this whole building houses cafes. All cafes are inside. It's like, wow. So it must be like a go-to place for youngsters and everybody, or it could be a test bed for F&B operators wanna be to try to set up their operation like a test bed. So if let's say this is really like a test bed, then maybe Singapore government can consider having a test bed kind of building to help certain F&B operators who want to start something, yeah, and they want to try it out and want to keep the cost low. So just food for thoughts. Next.
Next, we go back to the key challenges again facing F&B businesses in Singapore. Pretty much we covered that a lot. Steep rental increases, for example, in the news, bakers like Floor Patisserie, they were forced to close. They mentioned that 57% increase of rent. That's a lot. Then small shops like Siglap, they're also closing because they're not push up rent. Then lack of bargaining power, number 2, is usually applied to the private investors or the REITs. They prioritize the returns, like we mentioned just now, the expectation and the actual business well-being there's a big gap. High operation costs, mentioned already. Then number 4, market dynamics is highly competitive and saturated sometimes. So, for example, if one street is too much of bars or too much of the same kind of food, then they are, it takes a lot more things to compete, maybe uniqueness or service or things like that. The concept. Then number 5, dominance of deeper pocket brands. I think it applies more for the malls, but don't forget sometimes it can be a chain effect because if the malls are charging certain rental level, then it may become a benchmark, I think. Although malls are usually higher than the shophouses, but shophouses sometimes benchmark on certain rental level. Like the funds, maybe they will demand higher rents. Then the rest of the private owners may also follow suit. Then number 6, wave of closures. So it was reported in 2024 itself, over 3,000 F&B outlets closed. From a year to year, last year May until this year May, I think it's also higher in terms of closures. So next. The conclusion is rising rents, costs, competition, lack of support also. I think that is creating the situation now. We are still in an uncertain time. We don't know. There are many factors affecting it also. The global issues also. So I think we are also happy we have a chance to interview someone from the ground. Richard?
Yep. Okay.
Special
So
guest.
yeah. Special guest. Yes. So anyway, today, just now when we actually started, we actually forget to mention about we have a special guest. But of course, during our marketing, we actually inform all the audience that today we have a special guest, and this special guest is someone that I myself has seen him, do whichever sector that he want to focus, he will make it happen. And this is this young guy. If you ask me, he has a determination. He has a creativity. In terms of business, in terms of mindset, in terms of everything. So to me, I feel every sector, every business is the same. If we never follow the trend, if we never being creative, if we did not dare to actually try new if we did not dare to actually try new initiative or new ideas, and you just follow the ways, you continue to do your business, 10 years ago you're doing that, and today you're still doing the same thing. So we need to, because everything has changed. The entire market has changed. So I personally feel that every business you are in, you need to be creative. You need to be very dare to actually go in and try. So because of that, that's what we want to hear from. So today we are going to interview basically Lucas. So I think I will not want to share more about Lucas. So I will let Lucas first introduce his company first. Then after the introduction of the company, then we will interview Lucas. So that will be after the thing. Ken? So Lucas, so I hand over to you so you can share your company.
Yep. Okay, thank you, Richard. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you, Richard, and the PSC team for having me on board today to be part of your live session. I think it's been a while since someone called me young. Yeah, so good to hear that again. So yeah, hi everyone. My name is Lucas, founder and CEO of the Gourmet Factor, which is an F&B group started in Singapore. And of course, today I hope to be able to share some insights about the F&B industry together with all of you. So allow me to share a little bit more about myself, about my group, the Gourmet Factor. At the moment, we have about 5 brands and 6 outlets, and also we are in the midst of setting up a catering arm that will be happening sometime around July next month. And this year, we have also plans to expand into a further 2 more outlets by the end of the year. So as you can see on the slide here, some of the brands that we have within the group will be this brand called OUD, which is pronounced as Wood Restaurant. It's basically a halal-friendly wood fire restaurant in Kampong Glam area. And the restaurant itself has actually gained quite a strong traction among the Muslim community, and some of our dining guests actually includes Halimah Yacob, our former president, some cabinet ministers, as well as celebrities as well. And also because we have actually gotten so much inquiries about, catering. So this year we decided to branch out into catering and just go with the flow. So in fact, we are also doing apart from catering, we are also doing some other events as well. So some of the events that we're going into will be like, for example, Grill Fest, potentially some other festivals along the way this year. So Grill Fest is going to be an event that's going to be held in Sentosa from July to August. Another brand that we have under the group will be Shinkatsu. So Shinkatsu is actually a new concept that is launched by TGF Group, and it's an authentic premium Japanese tonkatsu concept, and location is in the Tanjong Pagar along the main street. And so another one that we have among the group will be Fortuna. So the Gourmet Factor is actually the local exclusive partner for Fortuna Group. Fortuna is an exclusive authentic Sicilian and Neapolitan Italian cuisine. So this is a brand that we actually recently won the top 50 pizza in Asia as well. So among this group, we are also planning to expand and further 2 more outlets, one of which will be our Italian cafe, and we're also branching out into a Roma style kind of Italian restaurant as well. So that will be focusing on not just good food, good vibe, good service, as well as amazing interior architecture. So right, some other brands that we have will be among the group will be Rice Bake House. Rice Bake House will be currently we have 3 outlets, and one of which is actually a recently opened outlet in Chinatown itself, focusing on more heritage concept. And we do have exclusive bakes that is just purely exclusive to the outlet itself. Another brand that we have vested interest will be Ipoh Town Kopitiam. Currently is located at Jewel, Changi Airport, serving Malaysian fanfare. Okay, can we have the next slide? So even as a young F&B group, we actually gained quite a bit of traction in the media, gotten a fair bit of media exposure, including publications, newspapers, and also being interviewed on several radio stations as well. Okay, next. That's it. Okay, I think that's, yeah, okay. All right, so the vision for my company, for the Gourmet Factor, is to become the top 100 F&B within Asia itself. And mission-wise, we aim to build a sustainable F&B supply chain ecosystem, as well as creating exciting as well as a highly rated F&B concepts. So how we plan to do this is to expand within our existing brands, and of course, potentially look into some brand acquisition. And eventually, we do hope to be listed on the Singapore Stock Exchange by 2028. Okay, Richard, next.
Okay, so let me stop share first. Okay, so we are on live. So anyway, really thank you so much, Lucas, for joining us. Definitely, during this, talking about our topic, and I think you are the best person. You are the best person to actually being invited, by us. And of course, definitely, we ourselves also see some challenges on certain location, on some of the F&B operator, and on some of the location that actually is affecting. Okay, so all these things we will not want to say anymore, because the first half an hour we have already mentioned enough. So I think we want to hear from the horse's mouth, correct? Eventually, horse's mouth. Horse's mouth. So which is he himself, he is a business owner of so many operator, so many businesses. So maybe can I start the interviewing? Okay, so I will start the interviewing first. So the first question, maybe we just don't we will just want to start is, okay, first of all, how long, Lucas, how long have you been in the F&B business, and how many outlets do you currently operate in total?
So I've been F&B since mid 2023. I would say that I'm actually an accidental F&B entrepreneur, because within that year itself, when we started, and within a span of 10 months, we actually started 4 different F&B outlets, various concepts with various partners as well. And of course, during this period of time, I also decided to set up a company to consolidate all these F&B entities. And recently, we have also set up a corporate office as well to provide back-end support such as marketing, HR, accounts, and operational support for our own brands as well. And outlets-wise, right now existing, we have about 6 outlets, 5 brands, and we are branching out into a catering arm next month, and another brand, which is a Fortuna Group. We are planning to expand another 2 more outlets by end of this year.
Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, so such a short time, 2023, mid of 2023 till now. So it's about
2 years.
Yes.
2 years, So it's just 2 years, Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's more interesting question, So anyway, guys, just stay tuned, Just stay tuned, Actually, Lucas has invited us. Okay. Actually, we will be going to his new restaurant. Okay. Next Monday. Okay. So of course, we heard about your new restaurant, and maybe could you share with us the concept of your new restaurant, which is I think you mentioned the grand opening is on the 2nd of July.
Correct.
2nd of July. Okay. So maybe you want to share with us on your new outlet, where are the location, and what type of concept you are focusing on.
Okay. So the new concept that we are opening is a Japanese concept. It's called Shinkatsu. So it's actually a premium Japanese tonkatsu concept, and authentic, because the chef that's going to helm this concept is Chef Masato Matabayashi. I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. Yeah. So he's a former head chef of Mameson, and he's joining us as a chef partner. So we are, I mean, as I mentioned, we are authentic Japanese tonkatsu restaurant with specialty cuts focusing on like mangaliga and also kurobuta pork. And we also serve like curry katsu along with our charcoal grilled rice, as well as some deep fried skewers also.
Wow.
So yeah, so diners can actually expect a more premium dining experience, authentic Japanese tonkatsu by one of the top tonkatsu chef in Singapore.
Wow. Anyway, we are hungry already. So Lucas, next Monday, please. I have already mentioned to you. So we have 10 of our team member will be going to your new outlet. So please reserve a table for us, okay?
Definitely, already reserved.
Thank you so much.
Good. Actually, I also want to just quickly highlight one of the reasons why we invited Lucas for this interview is because as I was walking my rounds at Tanjong Pagar Road, Duxton Road, Craig Road, Keong Siat Road, New Road. I walk past all the restaurants. There's only one restaurant that catches my eyes, and that's Fortuna. Because why? On a Monday, 6 p.m. evening, you walk past, you glimpse inside, it's full house already. So, yeah. Lucas, can you share with us what is your winning formula and how has that kept your brand successful and growing?
I think there's no one real formula per se to really win in this industry. But since I'm in the F&B industry, I'll just use cooking as an analogy. So, for example, you want to cook an amazing fried rice, like the Uncle Roger fried rice, for example. And there's so many dishes, so many ingredients, so many steps that you actually need to do. Like, the entire cooking process is a step-by-step process. You include from preparations to maintaining the temperature of the oil, the actual cooking itself, how you toss the wok on the fried rice, adding the right amount of sauces to how you garnish the fried rice, to even plating. If any of these steps is not being done correctly, the result is you don't get amazing fried rice. You get an average fried rice, for example. So I think similarly, if I apply this analogy to F&B itself, there's a lot of different factors. There's a lot of different things. For example, location, the rental that you actually negotiated, how you position your F&B brand, the quality of the food, obviously, like how you price yourself, the marketing, how you do your promotions, even how you engage customers. I think these are a lot of different factors that if you combine them, if you put in the right amount of energy, effort, and focus into these different components, different steps, I think it is still possible to achieve success in the F&B sector.
Wow. Have you write down eventually?
It's just describing how I make my sourdough butter cake. Every step is a possible avenue to go wrong. If the cake don't come out well, you're like wondering which step went wrong.
So Lucas, right? Heard that you already own 5 brands. So through this short span of 2+ years, what are the major challenges you have encountered and how you overcome them? Maybe you can share with our audience today.
Okay. So I think some of you have also shared earlier, like, you talk about manpower, you talk about rental. I think these are some things that you cannot escape. Private landlords, whenever they buy and sell, the new buyers always need to increase their rental to justify their ROI. And of course, REITs, managed malls, also needs to be able to justify the returns to their shareholders as well. So rental is definitely something that we have to constantly think about. I mean, it's always a challenge for us. But I think that in the current market, it is still possible to find reasonable rental in a reasonable location, in good locations, in fact, to continue to operate, as long as you find what is your market positioning. And I mean, obviously, if you're going to be in Woodlands, Heartlands, Pasir Ris, you're not going to be pricing yourself at a premium, because that's the target audience and your price point don't gel. So whichever location, you need to know what is your market position, but your market positioning, in order to be able to excel. Then of course, manpower is a huge challenge. Sometimes when you advertise for certain positions, especially in the service side, we actually get a lot of inquiries from foreigners. But then again, we hardly, or not say hardly lah, but we find a challenge to hire Singaporeans. And in order to hire foreigners, you actually need to first hire Singaporeans, fulfill that Singaporean quota first before you can even hire foreigners. So that's a struggle. That's a challenge that we also find. Yeah.
Nice.
Because very inspiring.
Very inspiring, yes.
And digesting. Okay. So earlier we discussed.
Maybe I want to go inside F&B now. Is it?
Yeah, hiring. We can talk at the side later.
Yeah, perhaps. Actually, there are agencies that do hiring. They have to, like they even bring in some foreign interns on training passes on a temporary basis. So, but even this kind of training passes, you actually need to first fulfill the Singaporean quota first before you can hire them.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And also I heard about the levy for foreigners. Sometimes it may work out about the same, So earlier we discussed about the evolving social landscape. So have you thought about this? How have these changes influenced your business decisions? How you approach your business?
Yeah, I think there's the only constant in life is change, lah. So we hear this many times, but I also hear a billionaire, Jeff Bezos. He mentioned that during the interview, he said that a lot of people ask him, what's gonna change within the next 10 years, but he said one thing very crucial. Actually, a lot of people failed to ask him what's not going to change within the next 10 years. And so the same question that I asked myself, what's not going to change? Actually, the dining experience, I think there will still be people who wants to go out to dine, good restaurants, good service, reasonable price point. There will still be people who are willing to pay for quality food. So these are the things that, that's not going to change. So changing landscapes, you have Gen Z, you have and even like AI robots coming up. So something that we are not going to change is like the customer service experience. Like for my group, I think we still believe in the customers engagement service. So this is something that we will not compromise on because we feel that it's one of the key ingredients to a successful restaurant, and we will continue to emphasize on great customer service engagement. Then as for like changing demographics, and of course in the light of the current economic outlook, I think that especially post COVID, I think there was a high demand for omakase fine dining. But as we move over the years, right now it's been a couple of years, past COVID already. I think there seems to be a trend away from fine dining, away from omakase, and I think people are also starting to tighten the belt a little bit. So, like, I think in the next couple of years, trends that restaurants that have a generally mid-tier kind of price point, for example, like within the $30 to $50 kind of range, can still generally do well in the market. I think this is a sweet spot for F&B restaurants moving forward. Yeah.
Thanks.
I agree. And
No
Lucas,
insights.
just to quickly check with you, I mean, F&B operators are saying that it's so tough, and a lot of them are asking the government to step in to help them out. Do you think that is something that government should do, maybe can do? And in what ways do you think government can help? And we also pose these questions to the audience. Let us know.
Okay. I actually do think that the government has rendered some support. In fact, there's actually quite a fair bit of grants for F&B businesses. Even you are getting like chillers, freezers, certain kitchen equipment, or you want to install an aircon. There are actually grants available. There are also grants for marketing, SEO. So to a certain extent, I think the government has helped. And of course, I think what the government could step in a little bit more would also be on the aspect of perhaps in terms of rental. But having said that, recently there was an introduction of the fair tenancy trade, or I don't know what's the term called now. But these are the things which right now as we negotiate for rental, we use that to incorporate the terms in, and the terms are more fair for tenants. So this is something that I think I'm appreciative of the government for taking the initiative to do for the F&B tenants and generally for tenants in the commercial side of things. Rental. So rental on the rise, and of course last year alone 3,000 over businesses, F&B businesses closed down. I think this could be an area of focus that government could start to look into on the exponential rise in terms of rent wise. And of course, I think there's something that's on my mind as well. there's a lot of home cafes or home-based businesses. I think it needs to be regulated because I think to a certain extent, especially for F&B business on the ground, I feel that to a certain extent it's a little bit unfair when the F&B business in commercial outlets, we need to subject ourselves to all the URA regulations, change of use, or the SCDF regulations, SFA licenses. We need to make sure that all our servers goes for the food handling, food hygiene courses. One of the owners, one of the key members needs to be a SFA level 3 food safety officer. So there's actually a lot of regulations and rules in place, but I feel that a lot of these are very relaxed for home-based businesses, and we don't know.
I would say it's non-existent, not relaxed.
Existence, correct. So it feels unfair, and there's a worry, what happens when there's food poisoning, because it's not a regulated industry. Anyone can just today set up a home-based business and say I'm a chef, but there's nothing to regulate the industry.
Wow. Anyway, Lucas, just to share with you, this PSE YouTube live will be also sent to our minister. So our minister will be informed, okay? Be informed, okay?
Thank you.
So I'm just sharing with you. So everything that you have highlighted, anyway, we are saying the truth. We are saying the truth, pain, and of course, there's things that we need to take note. And we are talking about the truth. So I think it's good that we inform the government about this. And I think it is also good for us, because if anyone just anyhow cook and we just order the pizza, and the pizza sent to my mom's, my family members, I will not want it to be what you just highlighted. Okay, so okay.
In the first place, you so much. You should not order other pizza. You should order pizza.
Order Fortuna one. I know. Okay, so thank you so much, because I think we have taken out a lot of your time. And the last question, audience, the last question that we want to ask Lucas will be, what is your future plan, and what do you envision the F&B in the next 5 years?
So right now, by end of the year, we will be about 8 outlets with a catering arm as well. So I think we are planning to grow locally in Singapore first. So ideally by 2026 next year, we are planning a new concept, which is a Peranakan concept. So the one we are already working on the project already. Just like Shinkatsu, we actually started this discussion and talks and the concept about 1.5 years ago. And finally, yes.
1.5 years ago.
Yes, I actually pursue he's a friend of mine. Chef Masato is a friend of mine. So we chatted, we actually had a conversation about 1.5 years ago before we eventually, found the location in Tanjong Pagar and set up the restaurant right now, opening next week.
Yep.
So we are also starting the conversation with a chef as well on this Peranakan concept. So this will happen maybe sometime around second half of next year. So stay tuned. In the meantime, we are already looking out for new outlets for Shinkatsu already. So Shinkatsu, our plan is to open at least 1 outlet every year. So by the time we are about 3 to 5 outlets, that's where we already start to either franchise or do it ourselves to expand overseas. So that's more immediate plans within the next 2 years.
Wow. That is a big plan.
Master plan.
And you just imagine how much thing that he has actually prepared. And it is prepared 1.5 years ago. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much, Lucas. Really, our team really appreciate you and take your precious time and come in and actually share with all our audience. And definitely, as promised, I will somehow send your link, and I will just tag whichever minister. Okay. And voices will be informed. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Richard and the team.
So we'll catch up, and we'll see you next Monday, guys.
Yes, I will see all of you on next Monday.
Yes.
So Richard, don't order pizza from other places.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lucas. Okay, guys, we are not end yet. Okay, we have our last two topics, and of course, we always do our hot picks at the last. So just continue to stay tuned, and come.
Okay, come back to our focus topic. We do shop houses, so we need to come back to crisis or opportunity. So why rental demand for shop houses persists? So of course we all know shop houses have character and they have the branding appeal. So it's something iconic. They have the character, like brands, they want to establish themselves in things unique like that. So they have heritage, architecture, and also the street front visibility. I think that is very important for retails. Tourists like it. They like to take pictures, so it will become like also attraction kind of thing. And number two, flexible layouts and usage. Shop houses, they have different floors, maybe approved for different users. Sometimes it can expand, like F&B on the ground floor, it could be expanded into level 2. So there are some flexibility in that sense, or maybe taking up the entire shop house, which something the malls may not be able to provide. Then location and footfall. So many shop houses are in a vibrant clusters. For example, Chinatown, Kampong Glam, Zhujiat, Duxton. When you hear all these names, you can straight away imagine what it is related to. You know, the examples of what kind of crowd, what kind of food, what kind of retail, what kind of people go there for what. So it becomes like attraction points for both the locals and the tourists lah. And also, again, the important thing about shop houses will be the 5-foot way. Being street level, you can see, you can walk in, you attract you. But in a mall, that is something lacking. Yeah, so I think we have some examples of the retail brands, established ones in the shop houses. Maybe event can bring us through.
Dior has actually Dior and Louis Vuitton has set up pop-up concept in shop houses. Dior one was in Keong Saik Road, that was last year, and Louis Vuitton was actually this year. So you can see they actually made it very nice. Next, this one is a shop house in Duxton Road. Thank you. So this video was taken just to give you a glimpse of how actually branding and renovation can be done inside a shop house that actually brings out the character and the flavor of the brand even more. And we also have Benjamin Barkers, who is specializing in menswear. They have in malls. They also have it in shop houses. Shake Shack, they actually rented the entire floor of this building along the cross junction of Craig Road and Keong Saik Road. And be sure that Shake Shack will be there for quite a long while, because I understand they just renewed their lease with the landlord. And we also have Coach having their signature cafe. They have cafe on level 1, and they also have like a museum upstairs. So Coach is located on Keong Saik Street. On the right, we have a coffee joint at Arab Street, and a very famous stall. They also have an outlet at 313 Somerset area.
MBS also.
MBS also. So you can see other concept stores for Clean Manila and Bird of Paradise. In terms of the renovation and decoration and the feel of the shop house, I think it's hard to find bicycle parked inside a mall as well. So this is the latest concept that our team has brought in to Telok Ayer Street. It's called Songgeok. And this outlet, this brand specializes in specialty cuts of chicken. So back in Korea, they also have long queues and celebrities have queued to enjoy their food. So their first outlet right now is at 113 Telok Ayer Street. So you guys can go and explore. They have very nice grilled rice. A specialty cut includes the chicken neck fillet, which is very yummy. Richard has tasted it, so he's nodding his head.
Let's go again, okay?
Yes. Okay, next. Okay,
So,
question.
why do retailers choose shop houses over malls? So we want to talk about shop house again. Next. So shop houses offer heritage and character, boutique, very indie kind of labels. Then the street culture vibe like Club Street, Gyeongsang, bars, authenticity, local feel, something unique to the country. If you travel to other countries, you go to their heritage streets also. That is their selling point. Then it is a bit about the history that the tourists want to know, and sense of discovery. You go to a new place, you see different things. I think that is very different from cookie cutter malls, I would say. And lifestyle destination, like we mentioned now, Duxton Road, Zhuqiat, you know there are certain blend of lifestyle activities or businesses there. It's not like individual, you go to the shop just for the shop. Sometimes it's like you go here, it's like cafe hopping and things like that. You cut your hair in the same street. Then why malls? Why people, our tenants want to choose malls? Maybe, or rather the consumers want to visit the malls also. Understandably, convenience. Parking is one thing. Sometimes, most of the time, maybe shop houses don't have that. And weatherproof, yes. Aircon, very important. Sheltered. It's very hot here. We always complain, understandably. So efficiency is one stop, because if you go to the mall, you can do a lot of other things. You can go shopping, you can eat, you can
Massage.
yes, watch a movie, or maybe lesson nowadays also lah. Then malls are usually for the major brands because of this structural thing, because of the brand, who can pay. Then in a way it becomes not so unique, but it is for convenience. Entertainment we mentioned, better parking, transport links, yes, that is undeniable. Then, so the next question is, are there more business entities actually form or cease? We talk about crisis and opportunity again. Yeah, Sunny, over to you.
Sunny, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I think we need to also get some feedback from the audience. There are more business entity being formed or ceased during this period. Maybe the audience can feedback as well. So maybe I share my perspective. Richard, next.
I think 50-50. Is it 50-50? I make a guess, right? Correct, I make a guess. Yeah. How about Evangeline? More form or more cease? Businesses.
I mean, from all the news, right, it seems that more F&B closed down.
Yeah, so it's more cease, correct? More cease,
Yeah.
Okay, how about Li Yang?
I'm not too sure, because I always hear from the market, right? A lot of people are queuing up to take up vacancy. Those left, and people want to replace them. There's a queue waiting. Yeah, people have ambition, fighting spirit to still open F&B or retails. So I'm not too sure.
All
So
right.
how about,
Maybe
yep.
we can evaluate through the numbers from the research that we have done.
Great.
Right. So here shows the plots on the annual numbers of business entity that are formed in red and ceased in blue over the period between 1990 and 2024. This is for the case for all industry. Generally, we observe a growing trends. In particular, for year 2024, we notice that there's actually 16,000 more companies being formed than ceased. In my opinion, it's because Singapore is pro business. And do we still see the same for retail and F&B sectors? Now, let's take a look on the other slide. Here we observe the retail trade, yellow and blue, still maintain a positive net growth of about 180 entities in 2024. For the F&B sector, green and red, for 2024, it maintained a net growth of about 750 entities. So for both retail and F&B service sectors, we see that there's more company being formed compared to being closed. And is this the same for the recent few months in 2025? Let's take a look next. According to the cumulative bar chart we observed for the first 4 months of 2025, the retail trade sector actually maintained a positive net growth of about 800 entities, whereas the F&B service sector maintains a positive net growth of about 600 entities. So you can see actually there are more company formed for both F&B and retail trade. The question here is, will this trend maintain towards the remaining of 2025? We can't predict as of now. However, on the ground, we do receive increasing number of inquiries for the rental of the available spaces from this new company as well as existing business chain, which are seeking expansion. We believe that at the end of the day, market forces will determine the direction. Yep.
Thank you, Sunny. That's very highlighting in terms of what statistics is telling us.
Okay, so anyway, the next thing that we are going to discuss, okay, this will be our next question, and I think this will be one of the highlights of today's session. So, is this the best time to own a shop house? And I think this is one of the questions that we want to ask the audience. Okay, with vacancy on the rise, has the shop house market being affected? So if you feel that the shop house market is being affected, you can type a yes, okay, into the comment. If you feel that the shop house market is not affected, you can type a no into the comment. But before we actually wait for the audience to type the comment, maybe I just want to get Sunny to come in. Okay, Sunny. So what do you think about this thing?
Well, whether the shophouse market has been affected, in my opinion, we need to look at the recent transaction. Shall we take a look?
Yeah, of course, this is something that you feel your own opinion. But is there any other things that you feel that will it affect the shophouse market besides the transaction?
Well, as business owner, we will be feeling kind of anxious because we want to know who will be taking up the unit. Yep. Yeah, there's some worrisome there. Maybe you can hear from Evangeline as well.
Yep. So, Evan, what do you think about this? Will you affect the shophouse market?
I think it's a balance between, even like similar to the residential market, right? Prices has been going up for the last couple of years, and there is always this balancing act between negotiating power between the buyers and the sellers. So if demand is strong and supply is limited, then I guess landlord will have a better share of a negotiation. So it will be the same for our shophouse market. So right now, I think we are going through a transition period on how market forces will play out on itself. Prime location shophouses will still be able to command their prices because, as you can see from what Sunny have shared, right, the number of entities formed is still more than the number of entities that ceased. So like what Li Yang has shared just now, we have a queue of even if you're going to hear it from the REITs as well, if one shop closes, they already have backup, a list of backup entities that is willing to come in to bid for the place already.
Okay, good. So how about Li Yang? Maybe I think we want to hear from Li Yang. So what do you think about the vacancy on the rise as the shop market being affected?
Has it been affected? I'm not too sure yet. I think we are still in the midst of things changing. We also look at the macro global point of view, because now tariff is still not settling in, then the wars are happening again. So we are still in maybe in the transition, but I believe it is a very good opportunity for the market to reassess itself, and maybe possibly some adjustment in terms of expectation of prices, be it a selling point or the rental prices. I think it's a good chance. And tenants have voiced out also. I think it's a good chance for landlords to really hear, or maybe government heard that also. They will, I don't know whether we'll do something to step in for a more fair framework. So if that happens, maybe prices will be adjusted, then selling price will be affected. But to what extent, I think we need to observe more.
Yep.
That's my take. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Li Yang. So to me, I think my personal take is, I think I'm looking at the market in terms of location, okay, in terms of human crowd, human footfall, in terms of the target audience that that particular location is attracting. Example, we take it as Kampong Glam will be one of the location. Okay, Kampong Glam will continue to have tourists, and tourists are on the rise. When there's continual footfall come into a location, the businesses along the location. Example, we talk about Kampong Glam, we're talking about Long Beach Road, we're talking about Bustoro Street, we're talking about Haji Lane, we're talking about Bali Lane, we're talking about the location around there. So definitely the businesses, if continuously footfall come into the location, the businesses will be able to continue to receive, because of the crowd, they will be buying, there will be businesses going on. So if you talk about the location, if you talk about the footfall continue to grow, definitely the location will not be affected. So that's one of the reasons why during this period, Kampong Glam has quite a number of transactions is happening, and quite a number of the transaction was not actually caveated, and it is actually sold at record price. So that is what my take is. And if you go to, maybe I just take one more example in CBD. So CBD is the same thing. CBD, is either at the prime district. Continue example, we talk about Telok Ayer Street, Amoy Street. Like yesterday, I was there, and that place was still vibrant because everybody will need to go for lunch. And that's the location that people will love to be there. And the businesses along that location, if you want to find an empty unit, a vacant unit, or of retail shop or F&B, is going to be tough. We are not going to find many units there for rent or takeover. So it depends on the location. I think for me, I think that is what my take is. So will it affect or not? Yes, it affects some of the location, but some of the prime location will continue to grow. And in terms of rental rate, recently we have just rented out. It's not at below the market. We are rented at above the market rate. So that is what I feel. So, but without saying this, I think I will want to get this Sunny to come in and share even more, because there's more reason why it is not affected to my point of view. Sunny?
Yeah, thank you, Richard. Yeah, let's take a closer look at the number of shop houses that is transacted in the recent 3 months. I do agree with Richard. Yeah, that there are numerous shop houses being transacted. But just to share, over the past 3 months, or roughly about more than a dozen caveated as shown on this chart, and most of them are transacted below the value of 10 million. Right, and based on our team transaction that is done recently in Kampong Glam area, in the CBD area, there are still a handful of transaction not caveated. Yeah. So, and also in particular, those that are transacted more than 10 millions in the CBD, they are not caveated. So as we speak, just this week, our team just transacted another unit in the CBD, and the transacted price is more than 10 million, just to share. Yeah. So on the ground, I agree with Richard. For unit that is with traffic, the rent has actually went even higher. Yeah. And there are queues waiting for unit to come up. All right. So why are there still a demand for shop houses? Let's take a look. Next. Well, just to share, most of these shop houses are located in the city core, and they are limited in numbers, especially the conservation shop house. Because of the limited supply, yeah, it's able to sustain in terms of the transaction, and there is always the interest to seek shop houses as a alternative asset because of its heritage value and well received access class as a trophy, right? And just to share, there are for shop houses like this, which is commercial zoning, there are multiple business users. There's about 21 different business users that applies to the shop house. So that allows a business owner, to change and adapt to the current market. Yeah. And also those who own shop houses, they are looking at long-term investment, not just short-term. Yeah, right. Yeah. And because of government-led renewal uh, along the CBD, Orchard Road, Tanjong Pagar, Bugis area, there are potential upside to the business space that these shop houses reside on, right? Giving more opportunity for business owner as well as retail operator to widen the business scope. And just to share, uh, because of the full commercial zoning, this allow both local and foreign investor to come on board, which means when you buy, you are not restricted by ABSD and seller stamp duty in this case. And just to share, importantly, sh- conservation shophouse is one of the top performing asset in Singapore. All right. So if you want to own a trophy asset, do not miss owning a shophouse as part of your portfolio.
Yep. Well said, Sunny. Yep. So anyway, definitely, we have to go. We have to always go back to the fundamental of why investing in shop house. Of course, you talk about vacancy was up. Definitely, feng shui lun liu zuan. So it will go around, and if we hear what Lucas has just highlighted, the way the passion on the business as what he has just shared just now is truly inspired really. And people are facing challenges, but for him he convert the challenges into opportunity, and he actually looking to expand in today's market. And definitely because of that, he's able to secure some of the very prime location in Tanjong Pagar. If not, you want to find that location is not going to be able to, and because of some of the setback on some of the tenant, they're not able to actually continue the business. That's the reason why Lucas are able to secure the unit, and it is truly a prime location in Tanjong Pagar for his new outlet. So that's what I say. So we have come to the last session, guys. We have come to the last session, and something that we have actually selected. We have actually selected only three hot picks. Okay, and these three hot picks are something that I think you guys should actually look into it. And the per square foot and the things that the so-called lister has actually highlighted is going to be good. So first listing, I will want to invite Sunny to our session. Sunny, can you share your listing?
Yes. Hey, today I just want to share this fabulous listing in Little India. It's a 2.5-story shop house under conservation, uh, located in the historic district of Little India. Why it's so attractive is because it's in the intersection of two MRT stations such as Farrer Park MRT as well as Jalan Besar MRT. As you know, there are a lot of new HDB, prime HDB being built around Jalan Besar as well as Farrer Park, just to share, right? what does this mean? It means that it will bring in vibrancy into this Little India area. All right. So to me, it's an opportunity not to be missed. And just to share, this shop house, right, is holding a freehold status. Fabulous, isn't it? To own a freehold status shop house and in a very convenient location, right? And just to share, this unit, the owner has done a major um, renovation, right? So everything is new, right? From first floor to second floor and to the mezzanine, right? Everything has been renovated, everything has been put in place and retain its original historic heritage intrinsic value. And just to share, the level 2 has a roof terrace at the back, right? So for this shop house, in my opinion, if you have a chance to visit the place, you find that there could be potential, to change the use of this 2.5-story shop house to become a restaurant use. Why is it so important? It's because with this restaurant use, you can enhance the space of this 2.5-story to be a more contemporary restaurant that integrate in-house dining and alfresco dining on the level 2, right? Subject to the approval from the relevant authority. So if you are looking for a value buy, do approach us so that we can showcase this fabulous unit to you, and you will be able to better appreciate this newly heritage unit for your use or for you to lease out to quality F&B operator. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you so much. So we have another one which is will be on District 2. So Liang.
Yes, guys, please screenshot these fact sheets. So I want to talk more about the selling point, which is why Cantonment is attractive and who may find it very attractive. I think tenants or for own use buyer alike. This street has a lot of offices that usually occupy the entire shop house building. So it's very good for a HQ, flagship, boutique office kind of setup. And this is a very quiet street without much F&B. Why I say that is because I do a lot of offices in shop houses. So they prefer to have space that is not, usually they prefer not to be directly above the F&B, to be frank, because there would be some maybe pest issues or maybe smell or the crowd issues. So companies who prefer location like this, they want their identity in a quieter setup. So this will be a good consideration for that, for your entire 2-floor kind of occupancy. And it's again very rare to have a full commercial freehold standalone shop house to consider for investment. Yeah, so please contact us.
Okay, good, very good. So we always leave the best to the last. So let us get Evangeline to share, her listing.
Thank you, Richard. So yes, the best for the last, we have one shop house to recommend in very prime area. And what we know about very prime Singapore area, District 9, 10, 11. So right now, we also bring you a District 10 Holland Village unit. This is actually a strata shop house. To be honest, I have a few units available for this location. And the reason why I picked this unit to showcase today is because it has a very, very attractive entry point, right? Its asking price is below 10 million. And to own a shop house below 10 million in very prime district, that is actually very, very rare. So right now, it is currently tenanted to a restaurant, but we are also open to sell vacant. So if investors or buyers both are able to consider this. It's actually a strata ground floor unit with a very, very good size of 1,475. Full commercial zoning, that means foreigners are eligible, which will increase your pool of potential buyers in future if you want to let go. And tenor-wise is 9,999 years, which is equivalent to almost freehold. Yeah, so if you are interested in very prime location shop houses, do contact us.
Thank you. Okay, so we have come to the last part of our session. So of course, we have been doing many batches of our Shophouse Masterclass, and we have not planned the date yet, but of course this is our Shophouse Masterclass, so it will be a one-day interactive physical learning from 9 to 4 p.m. including on-site experience learning. So this masterclass actually we should be planning soon, so look out for our dates. It should be somewhere around July or August. So these are the dates that we will be doing. So if you are interested to actually find out more, you can actually connect with any PronXR Elite's teammate, and definitely we will be able to update you on our next class. So basically these are our past Shophouse. So how to sign up? Just call any of our PronXR Elites and we will be able to register for you. Okay, and these are the topics that we will be covering. So in short, these are all the necessary topics that we will be covering to teach all our investors to how to enter the market, what to look out for, what are the things that to check. And we have a list of checklists to help the investor to actually expedite and be more confident to actually take action. So these are the things that we have been doing over the years. So anyway, just like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So anyway, we have come to the end of the session. Yes. Okay, so we are 1 hour and 30 minutes, okay, of your time. So and thank you so much for tuning in and follow us through, the whole session. And okay, any things that you want to share from Sunny before we end the session?
Thank you for staying tuned with us for this 1.5 hours. I hope we have added values. And for the hot picks, we still have other unit that's off the market. So if you have anything in particular that you're interested in, to contact us. We'll be able to share those off-market listing with you.
Yes, Li Yang.
Hey, just want to thank everyone for the time and give us the opportunity to share, and also thank you teammates for this nice chat. Yes, so look forward to connect with clients or agent friends out there. Anything we can help, happy to discuss. Thank you.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for giving us the opportunity to share today's topic. It's a very, very hot topic. I also want to thank Lucas for joining us on board for this session to give us some insights from what is happening, the real dynamics on the ground. Yeah, and hope to see you guys in the next session as we bring you more information about Shophouse market.
So thank you so much, speaker. Anyway, thank you so much, Evan, Sunny, and Li Yang. Definitely, you guys have shared so much to the audience, and I really appreciate you guys. And also, of course, Lucas is our invited VIPs, and I have really thanked him from the message, and he had put a hard shit to me. So definitely, I'm inspired by his story. Definitely I want to meet him, and I'm looking forward. We are looking forward to visit his new outlet. Next Monday. Okay, so yeah, you all can check it out, his restaurant, and you have already seen where are they. Yeah, try to Google him and check it out of what he has to offer and visit their restaurant. And I have visited all the restaurants except the Japanese one. So I will be the one who I can do the testimonial because I visited every single one. So definitely be it service, be everything. Okay, so last thing. Okay. We have everything. We have hot picks. Definitely for us, we have quite a lot of good deals, so-called listing. We are still marketing. We are pushing. So actually, do connect with any of us to get some info. if you are interested to find out more, just connect with anyone, invite them for coffee, and find out more from them. And definitely, we are happy to assist every single one. So anyway, here, have a good rest, and we will see you next month. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Good night.
Yeah.
Bye.